so today is pest control day. Can we get rid of them totally? No. But can we control them? Most definitely. The most important thing is early detection. We need to find them before they find us. That's never going to happen. We're always going to have them finding us first. But the important thing is that we get rid of them before they destroy our crops. Alright, so thank you so much for joining me in the garden today. And I will be going through some of the pests that we contend with in this garden and how I get rid of them the best way possible, organically, without causing any harm to my family. Alright, so let's go. This right here is leaf miner damage. Leaf miners, these little flies that I'm going to show you right here, these are what lays on your plants, and the little worms mine through the leaf of your plants just like that, and they also enjoy eating your beans. What I do, I just look for the little yellow, it's a little yellow larva, and I kill it, or I just remove the leaf if it is a small leaf that won't damage the plants too much. That's all I do for the leaf miners. There's nothing I spray on there because I'm not sure it will be effective because they're inside of the leaf. So I just remove that leaf, or I kill the little larvae that is in there eating away at the leaf. Alright, so right here we have a lot of cabbages. What love cabbages? Cabbage worms. We have to try and get rid of the moth. So what I do, I plant a lot of alliums close to my cabbages. So to prevent the pest from attacking them any at all, every container has garlic. So here you have garlic planted, and you can also plant onion as well as other herbs like the basil. What I find is the butterfly, they really don't like the smell of these things. Alright, but say the cabbage worms are present. Take a look at this cabbage. Once you look and you see where the leaves are being destroyed, then the presence of worm exists. So you search the vegetables each morning and you pick them off. Alright, say you have a plantation. You have a lot of cabbages, an acre of cabbage. You can't walk through that garden and pick off everything off your plant. So what you can do is your onion or garlic, you can grate it, place it in a jar of water or a drum of water depending on the size of your garden, and in the morning you pour that into your spray pan and you spray the vegetables with the onion or garlic water. That will prevent the moth from laying their eggs on your plants. Also, I find that planting cabbages, if you look at them, the green ones, they might have a little damage. On the green ones, some of them might have a little damage, but there are no damages on the red. The butterflies, they are sensitive, they have instinct. They do not lay on my red cabbages. So I interplant them so it will prevent, you'll have less damages on your cabbages and brassicas. It goes for all brassicas. So that is how I control the pests that attacks my cabbages and my pak choy and my lettuces, those sort of vegetables. The onion and the garlic in some water, leave it overnight, and then you just apply it onto your vegetables. It will prevent the moth. Here is one of the lovely moths that lays on it. Can you see that? Alright, right here I have 2 surviving tomatoes. Of all my tomato plants, I have 2 right here that survived. Alright, so can you imagine hornworm eating my tomatoes? I cannot afford to have hornworm. How I prevent them from getting on them in the first place? My onion and water. That's it. Spray this on them, and you can use garlic as well. Spray this on the tomato, and it will keep those moths away that lays their egg and leave their little hornworms on it. But say you did not get a chance, you work all day, all week, you don't have the time to spray it. It's easy to spot them in the nights. So if it is that you see, take a look at this. This is not hornworm damage, but it looks something like this when they're eating away at the leaf. My blossoms just fell off. If you see your stems looking like this and you cannot find the worms in the day, you can come out at night with your flashlight and they will sparkle in the dark. This is not damage, but there's none on it. But if you can't see them during the day, you just come out at night. Early detection is key. Pick off the hornworm and get rid of them off your plant. No chemicals, and your food will be clean. Alright, so that is what I do. So I stay on top of things in the garden, walk around each day, and I pick off all of those little pesky pests off of my food so I can get it to eat. Alright, so moving on to our next pest in the garden. Take a look at this. This is ants on my corn. This right here is ants. Come and take a look at my okra. This right here, these are ants on my okra plant. I have neglected these because I'm allowing these to dry so I can replant the seeds. I don't need anything else from this plant, so I have not treated the ants. But let me show you what I use to get rid of these easily. Okay, ants ate the smell of cinnamon. We love the smell of cinnamon, but ants ate cinnamon. What you can do, you put a little bit of cinnamon powder, 1 tablespoon to about this amount of water, about a pint of water, and leave it overnight. You don't use it immediately because it doesn't dissolve quickly in the water. And then you place it in your spray pan and you spray it on the plants. The ants will leave, but they will return. How you eradicate those ants, or you kill them? Baking soda and granulated sugar. 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. Half and half. Whatever portion, it's so windy, guys. Come closer. Whatever portion of baking soda, same amount of granulated sugar. And you mix both of them, place it at the root of the plant. The scent of the sugar will attract the ants. The baking soda will kill them. So they'll eat the sugar. The baking soda will stick to their bodies. They'll take it back to their colony, and it will kill the ants that are in the colony. So this is how you control the ants in the garden. Even though you see them on the trees, they get down on the ground each night to go back to their colonies, and they'll take the baking soda back into their little nest and get rid of their family and friends. Yeah, baking soda is your best friend. On to the next pestilence. Alright, next up is white flies. White flies, they will destroy your pepper tree. Because I stay on top of it, I am struggling to find pests to show you. Alright, this is a huge white fly. This right here is a huge white fly. How you get rid of these? Alright, let me show you what we use to get rid of the white flies. This right here, this is my coal pot stove that I use to cook whenever I want the flavor of, what you call that, smoke. So I roast my breadfruit here and I curry my goat and I do a lot of stuff. Rice and peas is nice on coal pot stove. This right here is ash. This is what I use to get rid of the white fly. You can powder your plants with this just like you're powdering a baby. Or you can mix this in water, spray it onto your plant, and it will get rid of the white flies. Easy as that. Your ash, sprinkle it onto your plant just like, let me show you. This little nigger right here, this white fly, sprinkle it onto him. Sprinkle it onto the back of your leaves just like that. And the ash will get rid of the white fly in a day or two. Alright, so that is it for white flies. And ants also takes the eggs on their body. So it's better for you to get rid of the ants. You put the baking soda and sugar at the root, so it prevents the ants from taking the white flies up onto your plants, your pepper plants. I believe my most hated insect pest in my garden is aphid. Aphids, I hate those creatures, and they love your cucumber and your pumpkins and your cantaloupe, your honeydew, all of those type of things they love. My solution to them, whether I find them early or late, and they're usually under the leaves of your plants, so you have to turn your leaves over to find them. My solution, my baby shampoo or my baby shower gel or my baby's bath wash or my dishwashing liquid with some water. Put both of them just a little in some water and spray it under the leaves. The soap sticks onto the body of those soft body insects and sucks out the juices out of their body and kills them. So I don't put oil in mine because the oil burns the leaves. All I do, some baby shampoo and some water or some mild kitchen soap and some water, and I spray it under. If it is that you find them early enough, you just remove that one leaf that they're under and crush it or drop it into some soapy water, and that will take care of it. But those things, if they get away in your garden, they also goes onto your cabbages under the leaves. But if you detect them early, you can just wash those off and it's good to go. The thing is, if you have a huge garden, you just use soapy water and spray it onto them, because you can't search individual leaves every day if it is that you have a ton of plants. And so that's how I take care of them. And they love my cucumber. Don't like those things. Yes, on to our next pest. Next is our stink bug. That little thing right there, can you see it? I am allowing this one to stay because it is good to have them in the garden, but too many of them is a problem. Too many of anything is a problem. So I'm allowing this one to stay. Why? it eats little bugs as well. For example, this tiny worm that is on my red callaloo, that worm there, the stink bug will kill it. So I'm gonna kill this one though. So to get rid of the excess stink bug, you get a jar of soapy water and knock them into it. A few minutes and they'll be dead. So that's how I get rid of the excess stink bug. It's always good to have some in your garden, but too many of anything is not good. So that's how I get rid of them. Just knock them into some soapy water and that takes care of it. I have a lovely little butternut squash right here. How cute is that? Up next are slugs and snails. I really don't contend with a lot of slugs because where I am living it's too hot for slugs because they don't have anything to protect their skin, their body. But what I do have are some tiny snails. I'm searching to find them because in the days they go under to shade from the sun. This is what I have. Very small snails. They don't climb up onto your plants to eat the leaves once they are established. But what they will do is eat your seedlings when they're just starting to grow. So that's a problem, isn't it? How to control these? The same ash that I showed you earlier in the coal stove, you use this to cover the surface of your soil around the roots of your plants, or you can sow your seeds in the ash so the seedlings grow up into the ash. The salt in the ash, it's not too much for the plant, but it's too much for these other things. It's trying to crawl away. These are what I contain. These also hate to walk over eggshells. So what you can do, they really do not like the feel of eggshells under their little soft bodies. So what you can do is crush the eggshells finely, crush it finely, and place it around the root of your plants. That way it will prevent them from crawling onto the plant to eat your baby seedlings. Once the plants are as big as this one, you don't have a problem with those tiny snails. And for slugs, you do the same thing. The salt from the ash will kill the slugs, and they don't like to crawl over eggshells. You can also place thorn. If you have access to thorny plants, you place those close to the root of your plants so they're not able to access it. Also, if you're planting in buckets and containers like I do right here, you can place hair oil along the surface of your plant. They cannot crawl on the oil if you're planting in containers. So that's one of the advantages of planting in containers. You can keep those slugs out. And last but not least, for the slugs and the snails, they like moisture. They like wet, cool places. So if you're able to water in the mornings only, that will also keep away the snails from the plant. So water in the morning. By evening, the soil is a little bit dry around your plants, so they'll stay away from those plants. But really, you really cannot get rid of the pests. All you can do is try and control them as best as possible. Another thing is frogs. I do not like frogs. They are garden's best friend but my worst enemy. So what I do, the frogs like to sleep in the garden when I water at night. So what I do is, for the plants that are soft, the little seedlings that are easily destroyed, I cover them at night so the frogs can't go in there. Because no matter what I do, I cannot get rid of all of those frogs. Right, so those are some of the pests. I might do a part 2 with some other stuff that I have to deal with in the garden, but those are some of the pests that I am contending with at the minute, and that's how I get rid of them or keep them manageable. See, there might be a worm on this cabbage because there are damages, but the thing is, I have wasp, and the wasp eat the young worms. So sometime by the time I see the damage, the wasp have already eaten the worms for me. Alright, so thank you so much for joining me in the garden today. I hope I am helpful somewhat to somebody. If you've not already subscribed, please do so. Like and share my video with your friends. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I am open to suggestions. Always let me know. Suggest what I can do to better control pests, as I do not have all of the answers. Alright, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, always leave a comment, share, because if you like my videos, chances are they will like it too. Bye bye.